Hi, this is Trepacer. Welcome to my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 7, called Chaos Theory. And in this episode, it begins with Andrew and May on their little, I guess, reunion in Hawaii, where they're getting along great and they say they want to be together. And then quickly, of course, May is hesitant at first, but then you see them, it fast forwards to Andrew. He's in a study at his home and he's checking out all the artifacts that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got from Sky's mother, and he's going through the stuff to see if he can find anything useful. And of course, he opens up an ancient book, and it sprays him with the mist. And of course, that's when we find out from that little backstory that that's when he got infected, and he basically became Lash. Okay, now force up to the present time, and you see Coulson is explaining to Daisy that he's going to secretly meet with the president, okay, to see if they can work out, courtesy of ATCU. I think that's and Rosalind, and he's going to meet with the president and hopefully, see if they can come up with a strategy, with all the Inhumans coming out in the world. Of course, Daisy's not happy with this, and she really doesn't like that the ATCU is basically freezing and storing Inhumans. Okay, she doesn't like it. Coulson said, "Listen, we got to do something, and this is at least a temporary fix until we can find a cure." Okay, and now, of course, Sky is not happy with that. And then we see May and and Bobby on the plane, and Bobby is flashing back. Excuse me, not Bobby. May is flashing back to when the Strucker kid was telling her about Andrew transforming and becoming a monster. And later we find out that the Von Strucker kid goes into a coma. He's not dead, because I thought he died at the end of the last episode, but he didn't die. He's in a coma, apparently. And of course, Bobby comes back, once the helicopter, the little Quinjet gets into the bigger ship, and she's looking for Hunter, and Hunter's, of course, happy to see her, and she tells him, "Listen, Hunter, I don't want to lose you, okay? So no revenge, no revenge against Ward, okay?" And of course, he reluctantly agrees to that, okay? And at the same time, you see Mac get a phone call from somebody. He's talking to somebody. He said, "Okay, I'll meet you," and you don't know who he's talking about, okay? And later we do find out who he's talking to. He's talking to what's the guy's name? I was gonna say, Jesus, I drew a blank on his name. Lincoln. I'm sorry, Lincoln, the lightning Inhuman that Sky's sweet on. Okay, he's gonna secretly meet him. Okay, and he basically tells Mac, "Listen, based on certain evidence, Lash is in S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, of course it's dun dun dun. Of course we know who he is, and of course at the same time Andrew is basically saying he's going to meet with Gutierrez, the guy that could bend the metal that appeared a couple of weeks back, who S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of gradually getting used to his powers. And of course, Andrew meets with him, and he basically showed Andrew he can control his metal shifting powers now. And and Andrew has I guess I don't know, a premonition or whatever, dream that he basically he turns into Lash and kills him. Okay, but of course, naturally he's talking to him, and of course you see May back on the helicopter looking through records, and she's looking for Andrew, and Sky tells him, "Listen, Andrew went to an off-site facility to interview, Gutierrez. This, one last evaluation." So May is on her way there. Okay, and at the same time, you see more flirting between Coulson and Rosalind, of course, and they have good chemistry, which is good. Anyway, another thing, Simmons comes to Fitz and said, "Listen, I have my phone that I turned on when I was in that other world, and it got kind of damaged. So could you see if you can recover any of the files, and maybe that will give us a clue on how to to get to get to that other universe and save her friend." Okay, so of course Fitz does do that. He fixes the phone, and he fixes the SIM cards, and you see Simmons basically talking to him. And at first he's a little jealous because he sees the picture of her with the astronaut guy, but then she starts he sees a series of Simmons speaking to the camera and basically talking about how she feels about Fitz, and of course it brings a tear to his eye. Okay, because she never thought that he'd see this, but of course it touches him, and how she tells how much she cares for him. And da da da. Anyway, May, in the meanwhile, she catches up with Andrew and basically tells everybody to leave. Okay, and she basically confronts him and tells him, "Listen, I saw you manipulate the medical records and stuff, and I tracked your movements, and you were like within, I think it's a 5-mile radius of all these attacks on the Inhumans." And Andrew is saying, but he's basically, you see him, he's getting nervous and anxious, and he's basically telling her to back off, and then he turns around. I thought he was going to transform into Lash there, but what he does, he turns around and shoots, ices May. And then later you see him back in the university. That's where he is, at the university. And he has May handcuffed to this, looks like a big, I forgot, it looks like a gigantic like boiler or something. He has a handcuffed to her, and then he goes on to explain to her how he first transformed and what it felt like, and how he felt this burning sensation until he found his first and killed his first Inhuman, and then it seemed to calm him down. And he basically you see he's a little off mentally. He's saying basically that he feels that he's doing the world a favor, because all these Inhumans are not good for society. Not all the he's a little you can tell he's a little mentally gone from this transformation. And May tries to reason with him, but he's not hearing it and not having it. Okay, and then anyway, Leakin comes back to the to the big ship with everybody, and he tells everybody, listen, only one person had access to those records to know where all the agents, all the Inhumans were, and could possibly be infected by the mist. And he tells them, of course, that's Andrew, and of course they're doubting it. And then Coulson finds out that, of course, that Andrew and May actually visited the off-site facility, and May's missing. She's not responding, and they tuck off. So, of course, S.H.I.E.L.D. heads that way, and Rosalind agrees to tag along. Also, Rosalind was given, Skye was kind of giving her, a little grief about, flash freezing these Inhumans and stuff. They're going back and forth, a little tete-a-tete, back and forth. But anyway, Rosalind agrees to go along with Coulson to confront Lash, and of course provide him any support he needs. And of course, Leakin goes along and basically tells him, listen, Andrew's transforming, and it's not going to be, it's going to be permanent. He won't be able to transform back. It's going to be permanent. When he transforms, he's going to be Lash all the time. Okay, so basically they come up with a plan to try to talk him down, and of course get him in the containment field, of course. And Lash, when they confront him, of course Coulson's the first one to confront him and tries to tell him we're friends and everything else, but then he, of course, lashes out because Leakin attacks him with lightning, and then he starts hunting down and beating up random red shirt S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, killing them. I think he killed them, because I think there's a moment where I think May reaches down and checks the pulse of them. Anyway, Coulson handcuffs her, and she goes looking for Andrew, and basically when he transformed back, she basically tells him that she never loved him and all that. So that, I guess, it gives him makes him revert back to Andrew, whereupon she shoots him a couple of times and throws him in a containment field. And of course, and then he changes back. He changes into Lash, but the mist knocks him out, and he's knocked out. And of course, May is, of course, destroyed by this. And of course, Leakin agrees to stay along, to stay on now that Lash is taken care of. And he agrees to stay on, and they basically said they're gonna hand over Andrew to the HCTU and now have them basically free. Rosalind basically tells him, "May, listen, when we freeze him, that'll slow down his transformation, okay, until we can find a cure." And again, May goes off utterly destroyed, okay. And of course, then the prelogue, you see, the prologue, I guess, you see Ward basically talking to Howard Booth's character. I forgot if they gave his character a name, but he's basically talking to him, and Howard Booth's character is talking about he really burnt that asset, the Strucker kid, and Ward's not worried about that. He said that kid's weak, no big deal. He's in a coma, okay. And basically he says, "Listen, I got a plan. I'm going to cut off the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Once I take out Coulson, the head won't grow back. Okay, and then of course, and Powers Booth's character gets a phone call, and he excuses himself for water and takes it, and of course, the person he's talking to on the end of the line is Rosalind. Okay, so apparently she's working with this higher up guy in Hydra. Okay, so so I guess they're trying to imply, of course, that she's bad, but I don't know if she's gonna be totally bad. Maybe she'll be a little gray. Maybe she's playing this Hydra guy. You never know with her character. I like her character, at least the actress is portraying her as real close to the vest. So maybe you never know what her motivation could be. I'm just gonna say she's a villain straight off the bat because I think she may turn out to be an ally anyway. Anyway, I forgot to mention one other thing. Oh yeah, once Fitz goes to see Simmons and basically tells her, "Listen, I was able to recover your SIM card, and I saw the message that you sent to me." And basically, she tells him, he kind of hesitant. He said, "I know you were by yourself and you're a little disoriented." She said, "No, I meant every word that I said. And now what we're going to do about it?" And he said, "Well, we're going to continue to watch this lovely sunset." So Fitz and Simmons may be getting together. I thought they wouldn't do that, but you never know. Okay, it looks like they basically say it without saying they love each other. Okay, so anyway, this was a good episode. Lots of stuff happened, the Andrew stuff, and I don't know, maybe the mist really did affect him. It made him, even the last part, because he basically, it looks like he was insane because he was constantly going after Inhumans and telling himself that he was doing this for the greater good. So I don't know if the mist was doing that and this made him not be rational. But anyway, he's on ice for now. And I wonder if he'll ever come back. You never know, maybe down the road in another season or something. Maybe he'll escape or so whatever, or somebody will break him out. You never know. Anyway, this is a good episode. I'm going to give Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 7. I'm going to give it a lot of things happened too. And a lot of May, I think, was the MVP of this episode. There's just all the emotions she had to go through in this episode. So I'm going to give this episode an 8 just for May. And the last story got wrapped up, which is a good thing. Okay? So anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care.